The FIFA Club World Cup is weird. Never have I been more weirded out by a football competition. Like, I have no idea if anybody actually cares about this thing. I mean, do you? Hello, I am the Irish guy, and do you care about this new tournament being shoved in our faces by FIFA? Because let's be real, the old Club World Cup, you know, the one that happened about a week before Christmas, generated the same levels of worldwide interest as my nan eating a bacon sandwich. I mean, if I asked you to read off the results from the last 5 Club World Cup finals, you'd probably stare at me as if I just asked you to recite those forgettable songs from that awful Mufasa film. No. But now, with this newly improved massive World Club, the Poochie of football tournaments, FIFA are now forcing every club to take it seriously by promising a £100 million cash prize. That's why these clubs are hurriedly trying to sign new fancy marquee names to show off at this tournament in America. In comes new flash exciting names, and also Liam Delap, the fella whose dad was famous for chucking a football. And not in a cool Tom Brady way, oh no. When he took throw-ins, it was a bit like watching a dog eating a tin of baked beans. Nothing fancy about it. But look, as I am the king of predictions, not really. I've got to do, what, 30 plus forfeits next season? But today, I'm going to predict the outcome of the entire FIFA Club World Cup. Yeah, I'm coming off a Champions League campaign where I predicted Inter Milan to win the competition early doors. They lost 5-0 in the final. But do you know what's really spooky? This was my prediction for the 2023 Champions League final when Man City beat Inter Milan to clinch the treble. Roll the clip.
But I'm going to call it Manchester City 5, Inter Milan 0. I don't think Simone Inzaghi's management career is actually going to recover from this. Because how can you look yourself in the mirror every day when out of every single European Cup final in history, then your effort is officially written in stone as being the absolute worst?
Are you for real? Nobody had ever lost a Champions League final 5-0 before, like ever. And I officially named the club who would. I was only out by 2 years. What on earth? I said that Inter Milan would lose a Champions League final 5-0. They did like 700 days later. This is scary. I'm scared. I'm probably the only person on planet Earth who predicted Inter Milan would lose a Champions League final 5-0. So honestly, lads, this video could also have some scarily accurate predictions. Right, let's go. Group A, 4th Al Ahly. Lads, I don't think this competition is a good idea because I think it's going to expose what we all know, that European football is king. We are going to see some other footballing giants in other leagues getting grilled like pig fingers at a barbecue. Here we have the Egyptian giants Al Ahly, a club who won their domestic league 45 times, and yet I'm tipping them to finish bottom of Group A. Yes, I mean, come on, Al Ahly are not one of the best teams in the world. No, they're just coming off the back of an African Champions League semi-final defeat to Mamelodi Sundowns. They sound like a cheap type of marmalade you get from B&B bargains to scrape on your toast. 3rd, Palmeiras. Here we've got Brazil giants Palmeiras, and it's not going to be good for their brand if they fail to make it out of a Club World Cup group, and they're probably going to feel pretty disgusted that I've said they won't. That is, if there's any Palmeiras fans out there in the comments. Probably not. I mean, I don't know. For all I know, one of the viewers could just be a dog who's accidentally clicked this video whilst chewing on the TV remote, in which case, hello! But yeah, I'm sorry, Palmeiras, but I think there's gonna be a shock defeat in there for you in the final match against Inter Miami. Oof! 2nd, Inter Miami. Let's be real. Inter Miami are incredibly lucky to even be in this competition. They've only been invited to the party because they've got Messi in their team. That's it. I'm pretty sure that is the only reason. And it's pretty hollow. It's been like when you're that nerdy dweeb at school and you only get invited to the popular kid's birthday party just because you're the only one in the entire class who owns a PSP. Inter Miami were only invented 7 years ago. The entire football club was probably only dreamt up over a coffee as Beckham tried to zone out his annoying pop star wife. They should absolutely not be invited to this tournament, but they are, and you know what? I think they are going to shock the world. I think this is the tournament which puts their manager Javier Mascherano on the map. But yeah, come on, I think the Barcelona DNA carries this club into the next round. Come on, Mascherano, Busquets, Alba, Suarez, Messi. It's weird that their president used to play for Real Madrid because this team screams Barcelona greatness. It's a Barcelona tribute act. I'm guessing Real Madrid fans look at this collection of Barca superstars and they do feel like spitting in Beckham's chips. It's a bit like discovering your 50-year-old uncle's collection of Barbie dolls under his bed. Look, it is odd, but yes, I think they beat Al Ahly and Palmeiras to squeak 2nd on 6 points. Just you watch. And if they don't, okay, if Inter Miami do not qualify, then I will get a stranger to slap me in the face with a hamburger. First, FC Porto. Well, obviously, without a shadow of a doubt, Portuguese giants FC Porto are winning this group, like, literally Of course. Group B, fourth Seattle Sounders. Poor Seattle Sounders. This is going to be pretty awful to watch. Again, this is supposed to be a tournament featuring the creme de la creme of world football. And yet we've got Seattle Sounders invited to this thing. I'm sorry, it's a bit like seeing Fogden at Rihanna's next birthday party. Having Seattle Sounders sharing the pitch with PSG, it's going to be like seeing your nan out to brunch with Zac Efron. With a Hollywood A-lister wiping yogurt off her chin. What? Sorry, but bottom and 0 points. And if Seattle even get a single point, then I will spend an entire 2 minutes of my reactions video barking like a dog. Third, Botafogo. I'm sorry, Botafogo. I know you are a Brazilian giant, but you're up against PSG and Atletico Madrid. That is not fair. Second, Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid could win this group. Absolutely, because I know PSG just smashed the Champions League to pieces. But Atletico Madrid did finish 10 places above them in the table, and they also beat them in Paris back in November. But still, no. I think PSG will just about sneak an opening day win over Atletico 2-1. First, PSG. Yep. 3 wins from 3. Easy. Next, Group C, fourth, Auckland City. Do you see what a farce this competition is? It's a World Cup trying to find the definitive biggest and best team in the world. And yet, there's no Barcelona or Liverpool. Oh, no. But there is a big thumbs up to Auckland City of New Zealand, who play in front of 3,000 people every week. I don't want to be mean, but Auckland City would get relegated from the championship. This is like inviting Plymouth. Half their players don't even have a wiki page. I genuinely think they might get smashed 7-0. Third, Boca Juniors. Oh, Boca Junior fans would hate this one, because yes, this club is freakishly huge. One of the biggest in the entire tournament. But I'm sorry, I don't think there's enough quality in your squad to get out of the group. I mean, come on, lads. Your captain, Marcos Rojo, is 35. Your vice captain, Edison Cavani, absolute world-class beastly goal machine in his prime. But he's nearly 39. And it's probably only a few years off having to use adult nappies. I'm sorry, Boca, but third. Second, Benfica. Is it silly to stick Benfica above Boca? No. I'm sorry, but the sad, simple truth is that there is far more talent in this Benfica squad. So yes, I think Bruno Lage is going to breeze them into the knockout rounds. Easy. First, Bayern Munich. Obviously. Group D, fourth, Esperance de Tunis. This is absolutely the weakest group in the list. And I'll be honest, it will be embarrassing for whoever finishes last. The whole world is watching. Well, maybe. In reality, this could literally just be watched by 12 kids on the zone. I don't know whether this is going to be popular or not. For all we know, it could just be watched by people in their PJs, munching chicken nuggets and blueberries at 3 a.m, trying not to wake their mum. But yeah, I'm sorry, Esperance de Tunis from Tunisia, but last. Third, Los Angeles FC. Lads, Los Angeles FC have some monster players with massive egos. This is a Club World Cup. Great. So isn't it amazing that you've got a World Cup winning spine? Absolute world champions in Hugo Lloris and Olivier Giroud. Honestly, I know this is a bang average MLS side, but don't discount that level of monster experience in the dressing room. And so yeah, I'm gonna go crazy here and tip them to beat Tunis in their second match. And yeah, a respectable third. Second, Flamengo. This is an easy group. So, Flamengo, as a monster Brazilian club, coached by former Chelsea left-back Filipe Luis, they have to make sure there is a Brazilian representative in the knockout rounds. There has to be a Brazilian side in the knockout rounds of the Club World Cup. That has to be the case, otherwise it's an embarrassment. So yeah, I think Flamengo get 2 wins and qualify. First, Chelsea. 3 wins, 9 points. Although I'm gonna say this. Liam Delap will not score a goal. And for every goal Delap does score this tournament, I will stand outside chucking orange juice in my face. It ain't gonna happen. He's about as average as a pint of dog milk. Group E, fourth, CF Monterrey. Sorry, Monterrey, but no. This Mexican team do not have enough to get out of the group. Say 1 point and out. Third, Aurora Red Diamonds. Why not? Aurora Red Diamonds. I'm gonna go for a Japanese surprise package to do something. Not to get out of the group, oh no. That would be about as crazy as suggesting I'm about to go and kidnap a Teletubby, but no. I think they get a big win over Monterrey in their final group match with a big win, maybe like a 4-0. To sneak third and put some pride on the board. Second, Inter Milan. I think Inter Milan are going to have a colossal fall off. I know, it seems absolutely bonkers to stick them as low as second, but lads, I was right about Inter Milan reaching the Champions League final this season. I was right about them losing a final 5-0, and I also predicted they would replace Simone Inzaghi with the most boring as banana bread replacement, Christian Kivu, the Romanian Solskjaer. Oh, it's more of an unappetizing and boring replacement than when they replaced Jose Mourinho with Benitez in 2010. And you know, Inter Milan crumbled in 2010 when Mourinho left? Same story with Inzaghi gone. I still think these players are going to be utterly devastated to have lost that Champions League final 5-0. The last thing these players want right now is the pressure of representing Inter Milan on the world stage. No, these players should be safely crying into an ice cream in a Club Med swimming pool, not preparing for more matches. So honestly, I think the unthinkable happens and they lose to River Plate. First, River Plate. Yeah, why not? 7 points and through after sneaking an epic final day win over Inter Milan to leapfrog them in the group. Why not? Group F, 4th Ulsan HD. I'm sorry, Ulsan HD of South Korea? By the bottom and out, yikes. 3rd Mamelodi Sundowns. I just know there's gonna be some football hipsters out there, Alfie, who think that South African Premiership giants Mamelodi Sundowns are going to make it out of the group. No, just no. If that happens, okay, if that actually manages to happen, then I would eat my own socks. 2nd Fluminense. Fluminense are Brazilian giants. Sure, but they've not been great since their Copa Libertadores win, but hey, this is still an insanely easy World Cup group. Seriously, this is a group so weak that I think Everton would have had a realistic chance of topping this. Yes, David Moyes is Everton. But yeah, Fluminense, they'll squeak runners up. First, Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund are technically just coming off the back of a stinking season, which could have been a disaster. It took Niko Kovac coming in to rescue their season by finishing 4th after an epic 7 wins from the final 8 league games. The only game they didn't win was a 2-2 draw at Bayern Munich. So forget about their relegation form in the winter. Oh no, Dortmund are in blistering form right now, and they could be a real problem. Don't sleep on Dortmund under Kovac. They are back. Group G, 4th, Wydad AC. This is the easiest group to predict. Wydad AC are Moroccan giants, but no, I'm sorry. Last. 3rd, Al Ain. Look, I am interested to see how Al Ain manager Hernan Crespo performs on the world stage, because I think this is going to be a tournament which will be a breakout one for one Argentinian big name gaffer. Is Crespo going to be another one? If this former superstar striker manages to get an Abu Dhabi club out of the group, yeah, no, I don't think that happens. I think they beat Wydad, but they will get gobbled up like gingerbread men against the European powerhouses. 2nd, Juventus. Juventus are underprepared because they still don't have a real manager. I mean, yes, technically they've got Igor Tudor at the wheel, but their sporting director Damian Comodi has come in and he wants another one. So yeah, there's Flighty Egg, someone who quits clubs so regularly you'd swear he barely bothers to unpack his underpants anymore. He is an interim. He is not the long-term manager Juventus believe in. So they'll get out of the group, sure, but I think this tournament will be a mini disaster. 1st, Man City. Easy work. Next, Group H, 4th, Pachuca. Sorry, Pachuca. This Mexican club are getting eaten like cheese on toast. 3rd, FC Salzburg. Why are Red Bull Salzburg a European representative? At the Club World Cup, they lost 7 of their 8 Champions League matches. They finished 34th in the table. 3rd bottom, and they're at the Club World Cup? Why? They'll beat Pachuca, but that's it. 2nd, Al Hilal. With the amount of crazy money Al Hilal have thrown about, surely they will have spent enough to get themselves out of the group. If they don't get out of this group, it will be a national embarrassment. They'll make a mockery of the whole Saudi Pro League. 1st, Real Madrid. Obviously. Here's the round of 16 matches. FC Porto will play Atletico Madrid, and yeah, I can see Simeone's men sneaking through by the odd goal. Then there's Bayern Munich versus Flamengo, where a company side should blow the Brazilians out of the water. Then there'll be a saucy and spicy South American round of 16 match between Fluminense and River Plate. I'll go for River to make the quarters in extra time. Then there'll be Man City versus Al Hilal, where Pep Guardiola will obliterate Inzaghi, who's still licking his wounds and crying into his pillow after the most embarrassing night of his life. Then there'll be PSG versus Inter Miami, with Beckham and Messi facing the former clubs. Surely PSG will win with absolute ease. 4-1. Then there's Chelsea versus Benfica, the Europa League final rematch from 2013. Yeah, I think Chelsea scrape a win on penalties. And then the last of the final 60 matches, Dortmund versus Inter Milan. I've told you, I think Inter under Kivu are going to be a soggy hot mess, so I can see Dortmund trouncing them something heavy, like 5-2. And then there's Real Madrid versus Juventus. Easy Real win, 3-0. So the quarters, Atletico Madrid versus Bayern Munich. Great match, but I'll go for Bayern on penalties. Then there's River Plate versus Man City. Another Man City win to breeze into the semis. Then there's PSG versus Chelsea, where I think Maresca's tactics will get shoved in a pancake and gobbled up by Enrique for brunch. Then Dortmund versus Real Madrid. Again, another pretty easy Xabi Alonso win. So the semis, Bayern Munich versus Man City. Pep versus company. I think City win this one. Maybe 2-1, and then as PSG versus Real Madrid. And you know what? After an exhausting, trouble-winning season, it feels like PSG probably want the season to end so they can finally chill with their trophies. But Real Madrid, this does feel like the start of next season, doesn't it? I mean, with Alonso at the wheel, this doesn't feel like an extension of last season. Oh no, this already feels like a fresh new era. And so this feels like PSG need to go to bed. But Real, they've just woken up. So yeah, 3-1 Real Madrid win. And so the final of the FIFA Club World Cup in the MetLife Stadium in New York. Manchester City versus Real Madrid. Who's in the mood for some fruit? Oh, this one actually feels kind of wet. This one is hard to chew. I've lost count of how many's left. Guardiola facing off against another of his former players. Pep versus Xabi, the Bayern Munich buddies. Look, the obvious choice is Real Madrid, but I don't know. They've got a lot of injuries this summer, and I have a scary feeling that Xabi Alonso might be gobbled up by this mega Madrid job. He's a talented coach, sure, but this feels like it might have come too soon. He's only 43. I mean, it was only 5 minutes ago that he turned down the Borussia Mönchengladbach job to stay with the Real Sociedad B team because he felt he wasn't ready. That only feels like 3 Sundays ago. So you know what? I think Pep's experience is gonna show. Because Alonso is a rookie. And I think we saw that when he choked in the Europa League final in Dublin. 1-0 Man City. Man City are going to win the Club World Cup. That is the spoiler right now. And Alonso is already going to be under pressure. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Who is going to win this thing? Do you even care? Let me know in the comments. You don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as always. I'll talk to you in a while.